JamiaTV, Beacon for the Nation. This program is suitable for general viewing.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. A very good evening to you and welcome to JamiaTV. This is live real talk show. I am your host Zamzam Ahmed. Now it is evident, or rather we normally see or we know that young people make a large percentage of the population in the country, yet there is so much struggle in getting a stable job. What's the problem? Why do we have so many young people not having jobs? So tonight we'll be having Nation Ochieng, who is the founder, the CEO of Mark Street Center, will help us understand why many people or why many young people lack job opportunities in the nation, and currently getting to know the situation of the nation as far as unemployment is concerned. Mr. Nation, good evening.
Good evening to you.
Karibu JamiaTV.
Many thanks, many thanks. I feel like pleased to be here.
Okay,
yeah.
Now because we are talking about youth and unemployment, and there is something like creating job opportunities, other people looking for job opportunities which they don't find. We will get to know about that one. And earlier on I've mentioned that you are the founder, the CEO of Mark Street Center. What is it all about, Mark Street Center?
Thank you. I feel honored to be part of this show. I think it's a good privilege at least to share one more things about experience, what someone may have. You know, we are all from different backgrounds, and we also have different experiences and skills. So it's a very good show if someone shares what he has and he knows, because it's also a learning experience. Let me begin from Mark Street. Mark Street, it came from the word MacBook. I think for normally those who are normally in the IT field who are familiar with Apple products. Apple is a company based in the US, immediately like it is transversing in most regions. They're in charge of taking care of clients who are in need of iPhones. That's their primary flagship product. Then they also have MacBooks. They have MacBooks is like a laptop now, but now on the Apple company. Then also iPads and all those other stuffs. So, you know, like when I came with the Mark Street issue, I used to be an employee of a certain company, but I decided like I think I need to form also my own space. After a short while, by the way, and so I decided like let me go through this route of forming my own as well. So when I came up with Mark Street, you know, when I came to the street now to talk about the naming, because I was already sure like I want to venture into this field, and then I told myself like no, if I can see the naming issue, many people have iPhone Street Kenya, iPhone Kenya, iPhone IKEA and all that, iPhone what. So I was like I think I need to be a bit different, and that's why I came up with the Mark Street Center. We had a lot of iPhone Street Center, iPhone Street Kenya and all that. So I came with the Mark Street Center entirely to have a unique name, at least to take care of the naming, but entirely I deal with Apple products. We do service them, we do the repairs, and also we do a lot of consultancy on the same. That's what it's entirely about. Though nowadays, going forward, we've advanced to other areas. We advanced to especially with the high-end gadgets. We've moved to Samsung, we moved to Google Pixel devices, we moved to OnePlus devices, and even we also take care of even clients who are on low budget. So we also take care of clients on other devices like. So you
are initially employed, but now you have created the job opportunity for yourself.
Exactly.
And basically that is what we're going to talk about, because many people depend on being employed. They don't know there is something called creating job opportunities for themselves. Now, if I may ask, as per you or in your experience, is it okay or is it better to be employed or to create a job opportunity for yourself, like employing yourself? What's the benefit?
So thank you. Let me begin with being employed. I've experienced being employed. Yes, being employed, it is a good thing because one, you have less to worry about. and then at least maybe you can live within the means of what you are earning. It's good. At least also you can push yourself further, because like if you are really employed, that's also under the disadvantages. Another good thing, like even if a company make losses or whichever the case, you have no problem, because you are employed. You are being given roles like do this and that. But if a company makes a loss, you are still there. You still make your salary, even though it may be reduced. You are still there. But now, if you look on the side of being, let me say, a creator of a job, or let me say being an employer, for example, you have some advantages. One I can talk about, you can dictate what you earn from that company, or what the company can generate. It depends, especially in terms of the effort you are making. And then also apart from the effort you are making, you also like, good thing about it is good chance if you put more effort, you know, like most business, they start, then they see there's no growth, then they lose up. So in that kind of a case, if you are someone who is persistent, the company will grow definitely. So income will definitely increase. Then you have a luxury of time. You can work from, you can report to work anytime you want, especially now if you are an established CEO, for example, you can wake up anytime, you can work from anywhere, as long as you have someone who really like a supervisor at your store who take care of all other stuff at the store. So income, as I told you, it is normally do increase, but it get to a point when you are now a bit stable enough, so you can be able to take care of your bill very much comfortably, and compared to being employed where you are supposed to, you are given a certain cut. If you look at what CEOs are making, they're making a lot definitely compared to what a staff can be making. So there's a lot of big advantage being employed compared to, I mean, being a creator of an opportunity compared to being employed. So definitely I'll go for someone, I'll love for someone, or maybe I'll urge someone to consider whatever they're doing, can they learn exactly what their boss are doing? And then are you able to like put an effort, like if you've really learned, especially if you're in the field of, let me say even sales, for example, it's very easy to learn, even if you are uncomfortable. But then whichever the field you are in most cases, you are able to create your own space and actually move forward.
So we get employed for it to be an eye-opener for us.
Exactly.
Wow, amazing. Now, because we're talking about youth and unemployment, basically, and the population of the nation has youth carrying the bigger percentage. And youths are the ones that you can find who are unemployed, maybe engaging themselves into things that are not impactful to their lives in one way or the other. So as per you, what does youth unemployment mean to young people, not just simply, or rather beyond simply not having a job?
We can use very many ways to define unemployment, actually. Let me just use the basic one people normally apply in the common daily basis. Unemployment is just that you lack what you can do to generate your income. And it applies especially those who are like adults. Adults, you are like, at least you can be able to, you are already out of your parents' house and you can sustain yourself. But now, even if you are at your own space, you lack what you do, and you may still be like, maybe depending on your parents, that is still unemployment. Now, if you look at a wider picture of unemployment, let me talk about a case where, for example, you are doing what you didn't intend to do. That's according to a scientist, I mean, economist called Scott Parker, back when he described what unemployment is. Is like you are doing, yes, job can be there, but you are doing what you didn't train for. Maybe you trained for being an engineer, and you end up being doing something very different. Some people treat that as an employment, though in most cases, most people do take a lot of advantage and build the best out of it. If you look at most CEOs, if you look at what they really did and what they are currently doing, it's totally different. So that's another way I can see unemployment being about. Then unemployment, some also see it like in a case where you are earning not what you really like desired to earn. Let me say you are someone who is a doctor, for example, and you are earning you can be earning even, let me use a nurse case, for example. You are earning even, let me say, even 35,000, for example. And typically, if you look at the Kenyan economy, a nurse is someone who had gone to a very good school. They have used a lot of resources for the cause, and you deserve more than that one. So it's also another we can see it as an employment. And maybe lastly, unemployment can be in a case where you are really employed, yes, but you're not happy doing that job. Yes, you are like, just it just actually can also be your profession, but you feel like there's some other people who are doing other jobs somewhere, and you deserve, like, I think I'm in a wrong wrong career. Someone
Okay.
can be, let me say, it can be a president and some good money, and you're like, you are let me just use the typical case. Someone can be, you use engineers, they get good money, definitely. If you are an established engineer who is employed, maybe, for example, you can be adding, let me even say 200,000, and a teacher can be earning, another example is a teacher, for example, you can be earning, let me say, even 40. So you like this, someone I was in the same school with, we pay the same school fees, and why is he earning more than me? Someone can see it as a form of unemployment. But all in all, it's all about like you lack what you can really do happily, and get you a good income.
Okay.
And it can really sustain yourself, and you're really able to budget effectively. Yes.
So we have so many youths who are unemployed, okay? And according to the definition that you've given us about youth taking unemployment is maybe not getting what they desired, or not being happy of what they are doing, or something that they are doing is not even adjacent or rather equal to whatever they did in school. So this unemployment, what is really the root cause to unemployment in the nation?
There's so many ways unemployment can be created. Some can be natural ways, like someone, you're born, definitely, and you find yourself like you are not employed, depending on the economic and sociological factors in the economy. Like economy is not big enough. If you look at the number of people, the graduates coming from various learning institutions, and compared to the intake, like let me say those who are entrepreneurs, let me say job creators, the intake of like the employment, those who are being absorbed for job opportunities are lesser compared to to the number of people coming from the learning institutions.
So the demand of
example,
jobs is higher than the supply.
The demand of jobs is the supply is more. The supply of the graduates are many, and the workspace is small. That's a way job unemployment can be created. Okay. Another way, someone can be like, I have a lot of case example, because if I also tell you my academic history, whatever I'm doing is totally different from what I did. Okay. So we have a case where someone like he did a particular course, but he feel like I need to do really this is the course I need, and he doesn't want to actually to go down there and begin to like make his hands dirty, for example, at least to begin from somewhere. That's another way people do normally create unemployment. Okay. But the mentor won't be seeing it. Other things can be like a total natural one. I think I never described it, but it's all about like you don't feel like you don't push yourself to look for a job. Maybe you where you are, like parents put you in a very stable condition, you get everything you want, or maybe like you feel yourself like I'm still young and I can still be able to like I still have more life. I'm still very young. People say like I'm still young and I have a long way to go to make myself and ends meet. Then also maybe someone can just choose like you just sit down. In fact, can I term it as lazy people? Okay. It's like me, it's jiskuma. Let me use that term. They were like, I can't suffer. Okay. It's so common with the let me not be biased, but so many ways it can be but you can even be at a particular field where let me say you are even any gender, someone is giving you money, and you feel like you are comfortable. That's already unemployment, because mostly like in business, in most cases, if you look at those who begin their business and stands, you can be given $1 million, but if you can't manage that money, it can't work. But money you want yourself. Okay. Maybe it can be like especially taking a loan, or let me say you begin a small business and you generate some money, you do the savings. People normally invest good in that money compared to the money someone gives you, or maybe your parents give you and all that. So there's so many ways unemployment creates itself, and there's so many ways we can also curb it.
Okay. So this might be personal a bit. It's about Mark Street Center. Yes. So this is like an entrepreneurship, right? So yes, it's a business that you started. But if we compare what you're doing at the moment and what you did back in school, does it rhyme?
Me back in campus, I was I'm a graduate from university. I'm from Kenyatta University. Okay. The course I did is totally different. Okay. But I had to adapt. What I do feel like it is the motivating factor in any kind of particular business, be it business or in any venture, for someone to succeed in it, is all about passion. Do you really love what you're doing? Even if maybe it wasn't your career, and are you able to learn quickly? Like definitely something you have to learn quickly. You must fall in love with it, and so you have to do what it takes for you to love that thing you are saying. then you take action. You see what people are doing, and nowadays the world is a global village. People look at, you can learn anything from anywhere, and now they are really open. People are normally posting them, publishing them from anywhere. They can be able to find them, and you can learn. So me, what I did is totally different, and where allow me later when I venture into business now, it was a bit hectic from the start. Like, I never learned this. I have no experience, but how can I even push forward? How can I move forward going in this kind of direction? But glad, let me tell you, I have a lot of people who also did business courses, and they have not started. Not that I'm proud over them, but you know, people are made differently. You know, like in a case where we have a very big gap in career experience, where someone, we are being told, like, this course I had somewhere, someone saying it's a good one, can you apply for it? You end up rushing and applying it, and you're like, you ask yourself later, like, this really the course I really wanted. Some another case where someone, government can also be initiated. So you are given choices to choose from. I think maybe that's another way government could be seeing things in a different way. If you are giving someone a course to apply, let them be specific. I think maybe 1, 2 should be more. But if you give someone up to four courses, normally people end up even getting the last one, which you didn't even assign to, maybe expect to do it. So there's a big difference in terms of what I learned and what I did. But I'm glad. I think I love what I'm doing, which is the most important thing, the most basic thing. Do you love what you're doing? And are you able to do anything for it? Okay. You like sacrifice your time, sleeping time, sacrifice your resources, even if sometimes even end up sacrificing your family, even your happiness, because it's a short-term pain, but you'll have a very long-term and positive life. Okay.
Now we have students that did different courses. They are degree holders. They have their diploma certificates. They have done masters and everything, but at the moment they don't have jobs. So when you talk about entrepreneurship, perhaps from your end, what you did does not rhyme with what you are doing at the moment. And yeah, you are really happy because it's bringing something on the table, right? Now, when it comes to unemployment, is it that the young people are relying too much on the formal employment than entrepreneurship?
Thank you. I have many ways I can look at it. You see, like our current economy, let me tell you, if you look at a bigger picture, if you look at when maybe when you are from your father's house or mother's place, and then, you know, we are born being told, like, you know, my son, I need you to like definitely rush and do this particular course. I want you to read, usome kwa bidii, you be a doctor, you be a nurse. And I think it's all about, there are many challenges which bring that one. One of them can be systemized, or maybe let me just say system based. A government can cause a situation where you can't be employed. Parents can also cause the same, not actually employed, but get a living out of what you're doing. Parents can also cause it. You can also cause it. So, and then also the environment can also cause it. Someone can influence you. Let me begin with the name. Let me say the parents. You know, back then, people, we are being told, like I told you before, like soma and go to school, then get a job and all that. So we were inclined to looking for a job. And now when we are outside now looking for a job, and remember back when we were in high school, we had been told, in the campus is a life experience, is a good life, is a second heaven. Then when you get to university, to campus, is a different scenario. And then maybe you are being told, if you choose this particular course, you'll get a job. And when you go now, like I told you, one of the causes of unemployment had been, like, there's more intake of people from learning institutions than the economy can absorb. So people end up like we can't absorb everyone. That's already it has created itself unemployment. So some had been caused by parents. We've been told, like, you just don't focus on looking for job. Looking for something to do. It's all about job. Then also our education system had also caused a bit of that issue, where the course we're being told. I'm glad nowadays CBC is a bit implementing some technical aspects which brings people to at least to be job creators. But now before, how it has used to be, the courses we are doing, it was entirely on on software,
Okay.
not hardware, where you are just like, it's all about do something, learn something, be smart in class. Now if you get out, it's a very totally different issue. That has also caused it. Then also, like I told you before, people also create some for themselves. Some are like, they are like, I think I'm comfortable where I am. My parents are rich. I've got a lot of people who normally say that. My father can give me anything I want, or my mom can give me anything I want, or my uncle, whichever the case.
Okay.
We are also those kind of other ones. And now, bad thing enough, parents are happy if they're giving their kids maybe income, even up to someone who is like even past university, even in their houses, married.
Okay.
Someone, so your parent can still take care of, is a bit shameful. Now, example, if maybe that's a kind of a parent, something happens bad, you understand. I hope you understand what I mean. And then you are normal. And how will that person survive? It will take a lot of mountain. a lot of uphill tasks to climb. And you can look at the scenario where a case where people had been someone had been employed, maybe their parents put them in a very comfortable environment where they got everything.
Okay.
And if you look at where maybe if their parent died out of maybe accident or whichever the case, you can see how bad, miserable life they live. I think this is something even parents should learn from, and even the kids themselves.
Okay.
So that's what I can see as a way which had been causing a bit of a shortage, unemployment in our country.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'll come back because I want us to take a short break, and you've mentioned about education system. That is what we're going to start with in our second segment. Therefore, if you are watching at the moment, this topic is really important because unemployment has really increased in the nation. So how are we going to ensure that everybody is happy, or maybe is okay where they are as far as employment is concerned? Also, we are going to understand why this gap exists and why is it important to shaping stronger opportunities for the future. Therefore, stay tuned for the second segment.
JamiaTV, beacon for the nation.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون.
Enyi mlioamini, munapoitwa kuhudhuria swala ya Ijumaa, fanyeni haraka kuikimbilia, muache biashara zenu, hilo ni bora ikiwa mwelewa.
Isikilizeni kwa umakinifu khutba ya Ijumaa
ili uzidi kujenga imani yako na kupata faida nyingi ya siku hii.
Coming to you every Friday from Jamia Mosque, Nairobi.
Live on
JamiaTV.
Verse of the day.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
المال والبنون زينة الحياة الدنيا والباقيات الصالحات خير عند ربك ثوابا وخير أملا.
Pearls of Wisdom.
Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "Whatever I have commanded you, do it, and whatever I have forbidden you, refrain from it."
Jamia TV, beacon for the nation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for keeping it at Jamia TV. This is the second segment of Live Real Talk Show. I am your host Zamzam Ahmed, and we continue with our conversation on youth and unemployment. Now, Mr. Nation, you mentioned or you talked about education system. If I may ask, does the education system currently prepare young people into the job market?
Thank you. Now let me come to education system. For now we call it CBE. I think they moved it from CBC into CBE.
Yeah.
But I'm a keen person in terms of taking my time and studying what it really means. And I also love to do comparison.
Okay.
If you look at the American-based education system, because why do I talk of American? Actually, they are definitely superpowers, and so definitely whatever they are doing, that's the life direction. But if you look at what CBE normally now revolves around, it's a bit of a step in the right direction going forward. But you know, like it is something which is it will take time, because if you look at if you look at the generations we have. From back, let me say back before it was introduced, we all enjoy the 844 system, and if 844 system is the one which normally we've been saying, it has really messed us big time.
Okay.
And there's so many loopholes which the government has introduced, of which some, by the way, let me tell you, I do normally like take my time and then I look at myself, then I ask, are these people who are in the high seats of education, do they take their time like the people, the so-called professors? You know, let me tell you, by the way, in most cases, those who normally perform well, be it in a corporate world, be it in a business world, there are people who are normally like they are not known. I'll give a very typical example. Let me use even Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, for example. If you look at what he really did, that guy had a limited education. He tried many times to go to Harvard School of Business, but he failed. But he learned from the environment. The environment made him tough. Then also there are some which he even went ahead and maybe learned on his own, and he was able to climb to the top. So sometimes maybe basically major education can shape someone's thinking to think in a particular direction which is not even right, and cannot maybe generate a lot. But in our education system, yes, CBE is making some impact on, like I told you, nowadays if you look at someone who went to, for example, a technical or vocational training institutions, they have learned a skill. And nowadays, like I told you, it's all about skill. What have you learned? What do you do now? Which you don't need to go to someone to give you a job, but you can be able to really learn yourself and put it into practice and maybe make money out of it. So CBE is making a bit of a good stride going forward, but I think the earlier cohort like us and people who are like before it was introduced, we really suffered the most, because it was all about go to school, learn a job, go to campus, look for a job. It was never, even if you look at those who took business courses, they were never told about like how to start a business and all that. And it's not all about learning and knowing how to do it and all. It's all about giving practical examples, giving them the right tools, giving the right mentors, and giving them the ample environment. Environment is also another big factor. Government can make environment to be unconducive, like even, for example, in cases where we have the political instability and bad economy, it contributes so people not being thinking as straightforward, at least people to like create job for themselves. So education had really messed us, but I hope the CBE can make a big impact. But now the good news is that we have ways. People can normally like change the tune and make things the right direction. People have come with very many organizations where they train people, those who have made it, like maybe they can see how they've act life and maybe be able to like make it out of it. They know how they can be able to come up with the ideas and let me say initiatives to train people, to show people what to do to make it to really make both ends meet. So I think there's still room for, even if you never had an advantage of learning something skillful which can make us to be job creators and entrepreneurs over being job seekers.
Okay, now some few things that I've grasped from whatever you've said. Skills mentors and training. Now let's start from skills. The current education system is not favoring those people that have completed school at the moment. Now that I've finished high school, I've finished college, I don't have job, so I cannot go back to CBE at the moment, right? Yeah. So CBE is really progressing, if I can say, or maybe the result we will see it later. Now let's talk about the people that are out there right now having no jobs. And someone who's gone to school, has done maybe journalism, has done maybe nursing, has done maybe engineering. Okay, let me not talk about engineering that much, but is there room for improvement as far as employment is concerned and skills are concerned? What skills can people take?
Now, you never went to a business school, for example. Now, let me not talk about career.
Okay.
But even from your career, you can make business out of it. You know, like most people normally thought, like even if you're a banker, you have to just be to the bank and be a bank teller and all that. You can be a financial advisor, but there are so many ways you can make. You can even develop it from what you love most. Look at yourself, like when you're young. Ask yourself, by the way, what did you love doing most? You look at a picture, and then you ask yourself, like, is there someone who's doing it?
Okay.
Who did the same thing you really liked? And I'm sure, like, if you're someone who, like, you are a pushover, because you know, let me tell you, it can't work if you can't be a pushover. You have to really, like, push to the limit, to a case where you the naturality accept that this man really want this thing. Now let me come back to a case where you identified what you really love doing when you're young, because I told you we had another big challenge we had when we are people selecting courses. The education system really messed people big time. You got a course, maybe you didn't apply for it. Now look at that kind of a particular example. This course you didn't like it, and at the end of the day you are doing it. But now how do you, like, find a way out of getting something out of it? Have yourself sit down and look at yourself, then ask yourself, what do you love most? Let me tell you, by the way, back when I was young, I used to tell myself, I think that was in high school. No, actually not even high school, primary. I told myself, like, one time I want to be a businessman, a big one, and a politician. And the course I did typically a technology course and a science course, and it was totally out of what I really applied for. And I had to do it. I had no choice, because even in the case of making an appeal, I made an appeal, like, I need to change this course. It never worked. But you know, like, there's something which maybe they were made to be like that. So you end up, like, ask yourself, like, what can I do best to make things a bit different from out there now? So you end up, like, going back to your root settings, what you love most. You move forward, then you ask yourself, I think I love this thing, but now who's around who is doing it? And that's why you move closer to someone who's, like, in business. And let me see, you love business, in business, and really successful in what he's doing. If you're really, like, someone who loves preparing, let me say, radios and TVs and all that, you ask, like, a technician somewhere, you see, like, you have this technician somewhere who makes it maybe and all that stuff. So you go and ask him, like, how do you do it? And let me tell you, in most cases, even if someone may go and end up there and maybe let me say turn you down. If you go to 3 more people and so, not everyone will turn you down. Some may not even give you a job, but they can tell you, like, follow this route, do this, and you can really, if you do what they're really saying, it can make you to sell it to where you really wanted to get yourself into. Yes.
Now let's look at mentors and mentorship.
Sure.
Okay. Are we prepared? Are we encouraged enough to create job opportunities instead of looking for jobs? And in terms of mentorship, is it important in helping young people create the opportunities?
Now, if you look at even my previous point, I talked about you identifying what you really love doing when you're young. It doesn't have to be when you're young, definitely, but there are some people who develop interest when they're really growing, even later stages. Then you look at someone who does the same work. You can do a research. Nowadays, we have a lot of social media platforms where someone can learn something and maybe let me know anything they want to know. And then now you go on to this person. That is one of the ways identifying a mentor. And if you look at these mentors, in most cases, let me tell you, if someone really made a way through it, and in most cases, you may get jealous people who are, like, they don't want other people to also to progress. But I can tell you, a good number of good people who can be able to give you directions. Those are mentors. That's another way to identify them. Now, another way, these people are already your mentors. I mean, like you've done business and you are like you at least you can get yourself an income. You have a place where you can set up your staffs, and you also have, let me say, for example, you have a skill to learn, or maybe to tell people what to do. And I think that's where people normally like sometimes are getting mean on themselves. Why can't you begin a skillful training to people, where you can train them how you can make it to where you are? Me, let me tell you, the people normally like ask me, how did you really made it? And me, if I tell you my staff, I have around eight staff at my store. And if you look at them, most of them, how I came to know them, they asked me that, National, how did you make this thing work? And then I told them, like, this is someone who's ready to learn. And you know, like I told you, this is a skill. If you are really in a field of sales, technology, consultancy, is all the thing. It's all about you learning it and getting all your clientele base, and now moving on with them. I've mentored a good number of people, and I'm also looking forward. We have an initiative where I train people at my store, by the way, and even outside the place as well. So I'm also looking for now to extend it to other areas. So that I think that's another way you can be able to like see it as a way of creating. Or maybe let me say solving unemployment issues. So train people with the skills you have, mentor people, because you never know what people normally also ignore. Like these people you mentor, they're your net worth. They may not be entirely physical money, but in future they maybe they can hold your hand. You may never know what may happen. Things do happen. Fatalities do happen. Accident, whichever the case, things do happen. So people you mentor can be your net worth. Not only the stocks you have, the money you have, and this is an appeal I can tell to every business person. If you follow this good direction, mentoring people, showing them the way, if you have a skill, tell them how to do it. And even to these young people, you know, like it's very hard to do these things. There's some which you can even create. We could see them back in campus, but now in campus people normally have a lot of engaged things. You come from different backgrounds, and there's more you've not learned. And you may not know what is really going on in the economic world. But now, if you get outside, let me say, the employment sector, into now to the economic sector, like now the job sector. Now that's when you can learn. Now things are getting tough, and that's where you can get people who are asking you like, I need to get a job. How do you do it? Can you show me a way? And that's where people normally like get what they really want. And that's even how best you can be able to identify someone who really want to do something or learn, compared to someone who's just really there to buy time. So even people themselves, they can be agents. You can be like, ukijituma, let me use the term ukijituma. Yeah. You can't really do it. Okay.
Now, when we talk about the people in the country, the youth especially, these are youths who have different mentalities, they have different thinking capacities. And of course, it is evident that we want easy things, we want easy money. So as per you, when you talk about training, how do you do it? How do you help the youths in terms of skills, or maybe in terms of ndio nasema capital inakuanga ngumu sana. When you have capital, you can do anything, but it's becoming tricky for the young people to do or start a business. So how do you do your training?
Now let me take it back before I even go to the training issue aspect. A very big aspect in business is capital, especially in a field where I am. If I can be able to do your breakdown or how financially it really requires, you'll be shocked. It really needs a lot of finances, definitely. But if I can tell you, if you look at most of these big businesses, how they started, you will shock you, by the way.
They started small, I believe.
They started small. They started really small. And if I can tell you the story of Mark Street, maybe that story for another day, but just on a brief note, Mark Street began when the current CEO now, Nashon now, me here, was fired. And Nashon was fired when he had so we deal with high-end gadgets, which are some you can get a phone of close to actually more than $500,000. You can, one particular phone is close to more than $500,000. You can get a laptop, for example, also more than $500,000. You get it, and that's just one particular piece. So you can imagine how $500,000. So you can imagine how demanding the business can be. But let me tell you, if it happened in a case where I left the company when something was missing. And I was told, hii kitu imepotea, and we sure when you umechukua kitu. Kambia kampuni mimi I'm a very clean man, and if you look at even our family history, we don't have the theft issues, but it happened so till I had to be sent out. I faced a bit of harassment. I can't be able to reveal the company. A bit of harassment. And that particular time, actually, I lost my dad. Actually, this thing happened a very particular same week. You lose your dad, and you are fired. You lose your job, and now this person, someone called me, by the way, a big man in the company, plus also my savings. So you lose your savings. Yeah, you can imagine. And then now you are forced. Actually, I put into prison, not even a cell, prison for some time until I was able to secure bail money. It was a long story though. But when I got out of that particular place, I lost my phone, so I never had contacts. And that time I was still like naive. I never had. But now I told myself I love this particular field, and I really need to make the best out of it. And I told myself, you know what? Maybe one time, and it won't be very long. I have to be a CEO. I have to have my own stuff.
Angekuwa ni mtu mwingine angekuwa asha give up.
I can't give up. I go back to your job. I'm like, you look for your job and all that. But I told myself, I'll fight here and I'll make a company out of this place. And if you look at it, in most cases, companies, or maybe those who form companies, they form it out of mess situations, and maybe things were messy, and you're able to get back together. So you know that thing. Let me tell you, like I told you, it is so demanding. I had no single money. And me, if you look at me, there's no one day I've gone to the bank looking for money. But it had been like a humble beginning. You begin with one client, but now you send yourself, like, you use the term again, kujituma. You have to move there, a lot of speed. If you look at someone who deal with like maybe wearing or maybe putting the gadget normal deal with it, ask them like, you know what, me, I'm this particular person, I deal with this thing, please, if you give me this opportunity, I can serve it to my best. And like business really need honesty. Business need trust. A bit of, you have to be trustworthy. Like that particular job you are given. Let me tell you one thing before I even get to the job issue. If someone give you a job to do for someone, let me say a client trusts you. You may meet a client online, or maybe someone can do you a referral, and you're like, do me this particular job. I really need it, and I need you to supply for me this particular thing. That is not actually the business. The business is how will you react to that person after you've closed the business. You've made your own profit, and maybe pay your supplier. And now are you able to like check on this client? How is he doing? How is the gadgets taking him? How, like, you have to give, client is normally your boss, so you have to make your boss to be comfortable. If the boss can't be comfortable, they look for other employer, which is now other resellers. So it's all about focusing on your client. Begin small, live within your means. So don't live large when you're still earning small. Do savings, do reinvesting. That's the only way you can climb to the top. Now if you get to a particular point when the bank can see like this guy can be able to generate his own money very effectively well, banks can come begging you for loan. Before me, people do beg me for loans. Now people are begging for loan, but now you ask yourself, like, will that loan really help you? You can decide to take it if it can be helpful. If it won't be, like, you just move on with your life, and that's how you make up things work. Yes. Okay, now I can see time is also not on our side. But the good thing is getting to know, maybe if I don't get the formal employment, perhaps there is something called entrepreneurship. So for the person who's watching us right now, especially the youths that are unemployed at the moment, what advice would you give them as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, as far as business is concerned? No, me, I want to tell one thing to my fellow youth. Me, I'm also still in the youth bracket. I can tell my fellow youth one thing. Look at yourself in the mirror. And then you ask yourself, like, is this the life I want to live? And ask yourself, is time really on my side? That's another big factor. Time is a very big time in resource. You can't be productive when you are a bit old. That time you deal with a lot of things. Depression comes, old age comes, kids, family, raising families is a bit of an uphill task to take care of. So you have a lot to take care of. But now you ask yourself, like, am I making good use of my time? We all understand unemployment is a reality. And let me tell you, it is I can put it as something which is a ticking time bomb in our society. Because if you look at a case where we have very many people who are unemployed, and many less are employed and living a very lavish life. They can be in the government sectors, maybe getting corruption money, and they're living large. And now they have youth down there who are grappling in poverty and unemployment. They may even end up coming for people one day, like these people who are employed and begin ask them like, these are our properties, you took it from us unfairly. But I think that's not the direction we should be able to go as a country or as youth. Youth, I think I will be able to ask them. Like I told you, I think they have a brief history of my story. Maybe last time could be story for another day, someone can learn from it, but it is possible. Just identify the area of interest which you know suits you best. And then even if you are employed, but you can do this thing even if you are employed. You can have a side hustle, and a side hustle nowadays people do turn side hustle into now the main job until they won't resign. So look at yourself. What do you love most, and are you comfortable with where you are right now? If you're not, what do you love most? Are you able to start pole pole? Because like I told you again, is never what has been the elephant in the room for most youth, especially causing unemployment issues. Someone asked themselves like, this my particular age. I think I need to like have a good life, and then I don't need to suffer. Let me use that time. People normally say I don't need to suffer, and maybe you don't do much effort. No, it's all about, like I told you, it's all about sacrifice. You have to sacrifice, and no business can be able to like grow in a particular day or in a particular year. There's some which normally takes years, and people are different. But there's some normally like someone can begin a business in a span of 4 months. It's blooming 4 months, 3 months, but some take more. So youth, I will urge you to be persistent. Identify what you love doing most. Please put an effort in it. Please begin to grow it pole pole, and you know what, whichever the case going forward, you'll be able to make it out of it. Most people normally lose hope when they in the middle. But if you look at a book, I will challenge people to read this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a nice book for those who normally want to venture into business. Look at how someone can see himself as where he is and how we can be able to rise from where you are. And if you look at what normal talks about, if you look at most people normally, whatever they're doing, is all originate from what they love doing most. And like I told you, when I left that company, I asked myself, do I love this job? If you love what you're doing, please put an effort, and definitely look for a mentor. Definitely, you have to look for a mentor. And if things goes pole pole and all that, and it goes like that, it don't never lose hope. Because in most cases, most businesses lose hope. You call it at a point where you lose hope. It is the point of transition from like making best out of it to now making the business flourish. So please don't lose hope. Some may take long, some may take different scenarios. But let me tell you, what also people need to know, it will never be easy for someone making an effort. You're doing what you love. You put all you have. You reinvest on that particular business. You give all your energy, you never lose hope, and that business failed to survive. Even God will never allow that. So it is very possible and very easy for someone to make it out of business, and anyone can be able to succeed in this particular field. Okay,
shukran sana, Mr. Nashon. That was really amazing, and I think I'm quite getting a very interesting story from how you began your journey as and at the moment being the CEO of Mark Street Center. But unfortunately, the time is not with us because we have passed time that we're supposed to be here. But I truly appreciate, maybe we can have another time with you. We talk about how your journey was, so that people can get to know what really they are doing wrongly and what they can improve. Sure. Okay, thank you so much. And that was it for the night. This was Live Real Talk Show. I have been your host, Zamzam Ahmed. Let's meet tomorrow for the Muslim Insight Show, and still matters to do with youth, because I can say that youth creates bigger parts of the population in the nation. Therefore, still more, inshallah. May you have a lovely weekend. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
JamiaTV,